spine. And I have another spooktacular Halloween project to share with you. And you will be thrilled to know there is a tutorial for this project. Hooray, hooray. This is made with Authentique Paper's fabulous Nightfall collection. This is the 8x8 pad, but as you can see, this is just a classic orange, cream, brown, and black with wonderful patterns, fabulous vintage images. It's fun and spooky, but not creepy. So I've used this pad quite a lot. The album was made with a combination of the 8x8 pad and the 12x12 collection kit. So this is a double waterfall album, and it is a tall and skinny. This is a 5x9.5. Yeah, 5x9.5 with a 2-inch spine. And you're gonna make this base from scratch following my easy directions. You'll see this is a really I love this. It's a super quick and easy album to put together. So on the cover, I've layered up some Nightfall papers with a little sticker, some rickrack border, and then all these chipboards from Gypsy Soul laser cuts. And I think they still have these in the shop. I'll try to link to them if they do. I was on their design team a while back and I had these left over. And these have all been treated with various mixed media techniques. For the pumpkins, I painted them with distress paint and then came back in and tapped them with my Art Institute Dries Clear adhesive and just using a makeup sponge, and then came back and sprinkled them with distress glitter. These eyes are filled with Flower Soft, so they look like they're actually lit up. Here's a little handmade rosette. The ghosts I just painted with white, and then I came back. This is a new product to me, but I'm really loving it. It's called Glamour Gel from Stamperia, and it just goes on and leaves the mica sheen behind, so that's great. This is Stampendous. No, I'm sorry. This is another embossing powder. I will put that in the supply list. A spider painted with distress paint and sprinkled with distress glitter. And then the little cobwebs painted just with chalk paint and hit with glitter. So super quick and easy, but it gives it a really great effect. On the spine, I've got a little chipboard black cat, stickers from the collection, and then a collection of little baubles. These are, some of these are Tim Holtz. The spooky and the owl and the creepy little spider are Tim Holtz. And then these beads and baubles are some that my good friend Becky Nicklin sent to me. She does cakes from Cabin Ridge, and she's been sending me all kinds of treats. And this ribbon, again, is really reasonable ribbon and a wild orchid crafts flower. And here's a look at the back. You can see we wrapped the spine with designer paper and then a ribbon closure. And again, you'll learn how to do all of this in the tutorial. This is just a very simple, very basic photo album. There's not a lot of frills on the inside, but you can put, what did I figure? 34 4x4 photos in here. You're going to learn how to make the magnetic belly band on each side, and these are mirror images of one another. So the pages on both sides look the same. And it's just a very simple, very basic flip album designed to hold photographs. No fancy pockets, no pullouts, no hidden panels, just a really wonderful basic photo album. And the great thing is, once you learn how to make this, you can adapt it and use it with any kind of paper for any theme, for any occasion. So this would be great done up in wedding paper for a wedding, baby paper for a baby, floral paper for a birthday party, housewarming, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. Just a super basic, super easy album to make. And I love waterfalls, and this vertical style is really fun. So if you're ready to learn how to make this wonderful, easy, quick, adaptable album, just stick around, and that tutorial will be up right away. It will be followed by a photo gallery and a link where you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also you might like to check out my blog at kathybydesign.com. I share a lot of really wonderful tutorials and tips and tricks and paper crafting magic over there. So hang around, let's get our craft on. Let's get started building this mini album. I started with, first you're going to need chipboard, and this is 5 inches by 9.5, and you need 2 of those. And then for the center spine, you're going to need another piece that is 2 inches, also 9.5. And what I like to do is I like to use my big paper from envelopes.com. I buy their midnight black 12 by, what is it? 12 by 18. And then I don't have to join paper. But if you don't have that, just join together 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock with your score tape. I've showed you how to do that multiple times, where you just run the score tape down the edge, then line the second piece up, and then you can trim this down. This is 14 by 11. So now we're just going to adhere our covers, and you can use whatever adhesive you like. I'm using Dry's Clear adhesive, and it's important that you get the first piece straight. So what I like to do is put my design ruler, if I line this up here, and I can get this in, and the likelihood of that first piece getting in there straight goes way up. And then just burnish this down. Now with the spine, you want to make sure you have clearance between, so that the album will open and close easily. So I just put my design ruler in between to create a little break. See? And then that's the perfect space. So we're just going to go ahead and adhere that down. But whatever you like to work with that. So that's in there, nice and straight. And then again, just put your ruler in to form that break. And adjust if you need to. Okay, that's good. Burnish that down. All right, now we're just gonna shape. And for this, I like to use this sort of a bone folder. This came in a set. I think I picked it up at scrapbook.com or something. So you're just going to start slowly bending this cardstock. You want to give the fibers a chance to break and bend, but you don't want them to crack. So I take my bone folder and I run it along there. That will actually help this to come over the top nicely. And then burnish along the outside and crease it down. And you're going to do this on all 4 sides. I also like to get down in here. So everybody does this a little bit differently. This is how I do it. You do you. I'm just going to come in to where those creases are, and I'm going to cut out those edges right along the crease. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. And you want to not go too close into that corner, because otherwise your corner will stick out, and that's not good. But I'm just following the crease and removing that area in the corner. Now, as an extra precaution, I like to take this really cheap, thin packing tape, but it's strong. And just to help strengthen this spine, I like to run this just like that. And this is thin, it's not going to add bulk, but what it is going to do is it's going to get into that crease and it's going to make this album last. Which, who doesn't want that? So we're just going to do the same thing over here. And you can get these usually at the Dollar Tree or Walmart or whatever. They're super cheap, but they're handy. Burnish it down really well because we want this to stick. Press it down into that break, and there you go. So now come back with your adhesive, and I actually do the adhesive on the paper, and I do it as well on the chipboard. And then just bring this over and burnish it down. Then come back and do the other side. Tuck your corners. These look like they're going to be nice and neat. Maybe tuck that one in just a little. Same here. And then do the sides. And really burnish those corners down because you want those to be solid. And I had a little spillover with my glue because I wasn't using the fine tip, but okay. So now flip this over, and I picked up a little schmutz from my craft sheet, but that's okay. I want to kind of just find that break and work. I'm just putting very gentle pressure here. I'm not using brute strength, but I want to kind of score it from this side as well. And now, slowly and carefully, we're just going to bend this. And look how beautiful that is. Now, for the inside, you look, it's exactly 12 inches is going to be perfect. And you want it to be, let's go 9 1/4 inches high. Yeah, so 9 1/4 is perfect. That's fantastic. So before I glue this down, I'm just lining it up, making sure we're straight and even on both sides. And I'm going to come in here again with my little handy tool. I love this for bookmaking. It's probably my favorite bone folder for bookmaking. And again, I'm going to pre-crease this. And I'm not using brute strength. I'm just gently going back and forth to kind of weaken those fibers a little bit in the paper so that it will want to bend. Then I'm going to put my adhesive starting in the center. Now this is just my method, and everybody kind of does this their own way, but this is what seems to work best for me. And I'm being really generous with the adhesive here because I want that spine to stay put. I'm just going to line this up again. Top and bottom, side to side, pardon my head, while I make sure things are straight. Crease, burnish, crease, burnish. Get my spillage here. I'm just going to really burnish this because I want that to be secure. I'm going to fold this piece over right along that crease. I'm going to put some adhesive down in the gutter, and I'm just going to add adhesive here. And I'm not going to go as crazy here as I did on the spine. A little extra along that tape because it's non-porous, so it's trickier. And I'm just going to burnish this way and really press that down. And really press into that gutter. And I'm using a fair bit of strength there. Okay, so now we're just going to carefully encourage this to bend. So then we're going to do the same thing over here. Bend this over. And I think what I'm going to do this time is on this tape here, I'm going to actually put score tape down because it will stick to the score tape. All right, remove our score tape. All right, I'm going to bring this up. Burnish it down. Get into that gutter with our bone folder. And that side did beautifully. Let's just work this cover. And you can see I'm just being real gentle with this. I don't want that paper to crack. We've done so well to this point. But there we go. That's fantastic. There we go. Okay, super. So that's our album. This side is a little stiff. We're just going to work it a little more until it's, see how flexible this side is? This side is giving me a little bit of a harder time. We're just going to work it back and forth. Okay, so now we're good. All right, awesome. So there's our album base. Not so bad. And now you'll come back and we'll create the liners and the waterfall and all of that. So let me get that done and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, let's get on with the basic construction of this album. Here is the front and the back cover, and I have cut my cardstock. This is 4 3/4 by 9 3/8. So we will just go ahead and get those put down. I love this collection. The basic cream and black and orange is just so striking. So this is going to go on the front cover, and I want to center this top and bottom. And you're going to say, yeah, but it's off over here. That's because we're going to do a contrasting spine. So we don't necessarily need, we're going to have paper covering that. So I was just trying to conserve paper. So that goes there. And then on the back, I want to use the reverse print, which is the pumpkins. Oops. So again, we want to center top and bottom, and this side, and don't worry about this piece because that's going to get covered up. So then I cut a piece. Is this the right one? Yes. Then I cut a piece of this cobweb, and this piece is 3.5 by 9 3/8. And what we're going to do for this, I want to use score tape, but I want to go ahead and center this first, and then mark where the break in the spine is. Just gonna bring my scoring tool in. I'm sorry, I seem to have a frog in my throat here. All right, let's score it here. And I'm going to score it here. And go ahead and pre-fold those. And what this is going to help us do is have this stick. And I'm just going to check it before I put any adhesive on. And that looks exactly how I want it to look. So yay, I like it when it goes right the first time. So what I do with this is I go ahead and place my adhesive on that center spine and get into the groove. You can use score tape, of course. And you want good coverage on this. So now I'm just going to fit this over. Make sure we're lined up top and bottom. And burnish that down. How great that looks. All right, and you could go a little wider if you wanted to, but I wanted to have enough room on the front cover to add some fun stuff, so I didn't go super wide. There you go. Burnish that down. And this does a couple of things. It looks great, it adds a great design element, but it adds another layer of strength to that spine, which is why I like to do it. I also really like the way it looks. So there's that. That looks really good. And this is the point at which I like to add my ribbon closure. And this is from Really Reasonable Ribbon. This is Silky Crush Black. And we're going to just lay this. Let's bend this. You always have to bend and bend and bend just to make sure everything works properly. So take your time. All right. All right. Just a little tool. Okay. So I like to use 1/2 inch score tape for this. And I'm just going to eyeball the center. One more to do it. I keep losing things. Okay. Get down into that groove. So I want to find the center point by folding it in half. Then I'm going to take the center of the center point and I'm just going to put it in the center of my album. Lay this across. This is really good spooky ribbon. There we go. So this will be our tie. We can trim the tails once we're done, but I like to get that down there because if I don't, I tend to forget about it. So now we can move to the inside of this album. And for this, I've cut 4 3/4 by 9 1/4. And the spine is 1 7/8 by 9 1/4. So for that, we're going to do like this. We'll do the spine first. It's a small piece. I don't want to lose it. Get this centered. Straight. Okay. Oops. Now this is the point where you have to make a decision. And you have to decide, do you want to do a double waterfall, which is what I designed it to be, or do you want to do like a pocket and a waterfall? I decided I wanted a double waterfall because I just think those are really fun. So I cut 18 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 panels of black cardstock, and I've scored each of these a 1/2 inch flap on the top. Now you can shape your corners. I'm not going to on this one. This is just a quick get it done, get it on the shelf mini album. So what I'm doing is I took that 1/2 inch flap and I just adhered it. And then you take the next one and you're just going to line the top of this one up with the bottom of the one ahead of it. Make sure your sides are lined up. And I'll show you one more. And you're just going to continue all the way down, doing the same thing. Then what I did was I cut liners, and these are 4 1/4 by 4 1/2, and these are going to line the waterfall. So, and then you just glue those down. Simple. If you want to do a flap behind, which you don't want to do too much of because then your waterfall gets really bulky, but in a couple of places it's not bad. Just score your flap, put it behind the page before you glue this down. So I'm not going to make you watch me glue all of these down. I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and I'll be back and we'll continue the next step. Okay, so I've got my waterfall all lined here. The next step is to create a belly band. And I've done the first one. I haven't adhered it yet, but this is 1 inch by 12 inches. And I scored this at 3, 3 1/2, 8, and 8 1/2. And then I'll show you how to do it on the other one. And then this is just the sticker that I put on black cardstock and die cut with a Spellbinders die. So here we go. And then go ahead and just fold this. And the reason you want that 1/2 inch in there is so you have room to add your photos. Then I placed a basic gray magnet on this end, and then you take the opposite magnet, it'll click on top of that, and then press it down and it will be placed perfectly. So the next step is to line this. And this is 3/4 of an inch by 12. And we're just going to take 1/2 inch score tape and run it all the way down the length. And let me move this out of the way so I can get back in frame. Sorry. So here's 1/2 inch score tape, and we're going to do the same thing on this one. You can use adhesive. I think this is maybe a little bit easier. So we'll try it this way. I used adhesive. I used my Dry's Clear adhesive, but I think this is actually going to work better. All right, so here's our belly band. And on the inside, we want to put this cobweb pattern. So peel off the liner tape and then line it up. All the way down and burnish it well. Now you're going to have a little bit of overhang here because it fascinates me. 12 inches is not always 12 inches. These were both 12-inch wide papers, but one 12 inch is different than another. Now where you scored, go ahead, fold, and reburnish that score and see how that just sits nicely over that. Just burnish this all down, especially around that magnet. Okay, so flip it over and you're just going to do the same thing on the front side. Line it up. I got this one a little bit crooked. That's why I like liquid adhesive, but then I think this takes the crease better if you use score tape, but it'll be okay. Burnish that down. Trim this little extra off the end. And then come in here and just gently fold it again on those score lines. And that is how you make a lined belly band. And see, the magnet catches and you're good. So these are going to go. Lift your waterfall, and you want to get this placed so we have a decision to make here. Yes, I'm going to glue it on this last panel as though it's a little pocket. So I'm just going to put my adhesive here along the bottom edge and here. Then I'm going to place it right up against, right into my waterfall. And before the glue sets, I'm going to adjust. Push this up as high as it will go. There we go. And then I've got my little spider, and I'm just going to use place a couple of these little guys in here. Make sure I've got my spider going the right way. And my spider sits right here. Isn't that cute? So then this opens and you can flip through your waterfalls. And when you get to this last one, the belly band is actually going to flip with it. And then you've got a little pocket right here that you can tuck something in. And then here what we can do is we can build a pocket. Now if you don't like this, this is where you have to make a decision, and I might actually do it this way. Glue this whole panel down and just lose this back side, because I think in the long run that's actually going to work better. So I think that is what I'm going to do, because it's just awkward flipping that around. So here goes nothing. I'm just going to glue that last waterfall panel down. So instead of having to cut the 18 liner sheets, you're only going to have to do 16. But you can still get 32 photos in here, which is impressive. So there we go, just like that. Cute, cute, cute. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And this time I've turned it the other way so that the long side is over here. So I'm just going to line this up. And of course yours will be a blank black page. This is the problem with being a spontaneous crafter. Push that as far as it will go. Burnish that down. So this is a super quick, like you can make this easily in an afternoon, but it's really cute. And then a couple of little adhesive dots. Say one right here, one right here. And then attach this cute little buckle on our belly band. How cute that is. Oops. So there you go. So it's kind of a mirror image. I don't know why this guy's giving me a hard time. There we go. So there you go. That's the inside finish. Now if you wanted to, you could dress up the pages, but I'm going to leave it just like it is, just for photos, and keep it simple. If you've got these little images, you could put some of these in the spine, but again, I'm fine with it just the way it is. So that completes the inside, and then it just ties shut like this. And now we can go to work on the cover. But what a handsome album. I really like the way this one turned out. Super simple, super fun. I'll be back. We'll work on the cover. Okay, so we're just going to take this in stages and see where this goes. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. I've got lots of ideas. But I do know I want to start with rickrack down the side, and I got that at Really Reasonable Ribbon. And then I took a scrap of my paper that was 3.5 by 7.5, and I matted it on black cardstock. And we're just gonna glue this down in the center. And again, you can use score tape if you want. That's up to you. So we're just going to kind of center this, but I want to leave room at the bottom. So I'm centering top and the sides like that. And I put some acrylic blocks inside here to level this out so it's easier to work on. There's a little tip for you. Okay. And then I have a bunch of chipboard that I altered. I've been cleaning out the closet of shame, and I found all this wonderful chipboard, and I was like, why am I not using this stuff? So I altered it with various paints and embossing powders and glitters and all of that. This is from Gypsy Soul Laser Cuts. I'm not sure if she still has this in the shop because I've had it from way back when I was on the team, which was a long time ago. But I like these spider webs in the corners. And add here our focal point. And I'm just working with hot glue because my glue gun's hot and it's quick and easy. It's good. And then our cat. Right here. Then our big ghost. The ghost cracks me up. That's awesome. Then the little ghost, maybe. Let's get our witch in there. She's next. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. This is turning out really fun. Okay, so I think maybe get this one down like that. We need to back this with some chipboard. That looks good. Little jack-o'-lantern family there. That's cute. Tuck this guy right in like that. just like that. That's so fun. Actually, I think that's good. I don't think we need anything else there. I think anything else is overkill. How cute is that? Then on the spine, spiders from the sticker sheet are great on the ribbon. I'll finish decorating this, but you get the basic idea. This is so cute. And you see how the cover came together. I may add a few more little details here or there. I got to think about it. But there you go. A double waterfall Halloween album with Authentique Twilight. Super cute mirror image waterfalls, magnetic belly bands, quick and easy project. Put it together in an afternoon easily and fill it up with pictures of your favorite ghouls and goblins. So this is Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you along for the journey. You can find out more about me on my website, kathybydesign.com, and subscribe to my blog while you're there if you'd like to. So happy Halloween, y'all. I'm gonna go get my craft on. Bye.